What's going on, buddy? My name is ZealetPrince. Welcome back to yet another reaction video. And today we're checking out the next installment of Stories of Sodor, Season 6. This is Limits. And from the thumbnail, it has to do with Daisy, and Brian is somehow going to be a part of this. We actually haven't really seen Brian since the end of Season 4. At least I can think of off the top of my head. He didn't have a speaking line whatsoever in Season 5. Even though he was just introduced in the previous season, we still need to know more about him. So this will probably be an interaction between Brian and Daisy, which I'm curious as to how Victoria is going to put it in this episode. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this. Actually, wait, hold on, there's something else I want to mention. I'm guessing the plotline of this story also has to do with what Dudley said in the previous episode. That's probably why Daisy's going to push herself to her limits. So, with that being said, we're going to get right into this in 3, 2, 1, boom. Just wanted to throw in that little tidbit because I just popped into my head as I was just saying that bit right there.
The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land.
Because it would make sense
and
why Daisy would try a lot harder than
the power behind the docks, industries, and
she does, because she's just a rail car. She's not built for specific things. It's like heavy shunting,
These
pulling
are the
coaches.
stories of Sodor.
I don't know if they actually withstand that in real life. I actually never looked into it that far. Is that a Garrett? What? That was a Garrett. I recognize that model from the Wild Nor'Wester. I watched his series too. Oh, there's Theodore. All right, here we go.
By 1967, the redevelopment of Wellsworth Yard was nearing completion. After the site was closed and stripped of anything rail-related, the land was then bought by the council, who turned it into a park. Within 18 months, a football field, a cricket pitch, and tennis courts had been installed, as well as a playground and picnic areas. It also boasted a sizable car park and a bus stop, both of which had access to the station. And a few days before it was scheduled to open, the name was unveiled. I swear,
Royal Wellsworth
you Brits
Park?
love slapping royal on everything. Well, if the crown fits,
there's Brian.
This place is shaping up to be something quite grand. It's come a long, long way since my day. Back then, this station was just one platform, and the yard was a pair of sidings. Does it bother you they've changed so much? No, of course not. I'm not opposed to change. If nobody uses the park, I might change my tune, but I don't think there's much chance of that happening. And have you heard the rumors about the opening ceremony? Supposedly some big-time celebrity will be coming to cut the ribbon. Who? No idea. It's all very hush-hush. Even Terrence's contacts can't find out anything. How often does that happen? Ah! Bust my buffers! Are you alright, Daisy? Yes, darling, I'm fine. I'm still getting used to this radio. Oh yeah, Watson said he was going to give all of us radios to improve communication. Boko got his the other day. Not a bad idea, really. No, it's not. That's another thing that's come a long way. I can remember listening to the first radio broadcast back in 1920. We all thought it was magic. Well, this magic can be a little startling when you're trundling along and then it suddenly squawks to life. Just now, James was informing Control he was leaving Vickerstown. And Reginald has arrived at Knapford. And Boko has stalled on the hill. Wait, what? Boko, this is Daisy. Did you say you've stalled? Yeah, my wheels slipped during the climb and now I'm stuck. I need a banker. Not to worry, darling. I'll be right there. You? Is that a problem? No offense, Daisy, but can you do that? We'll soon find out. I'll be there in a jiffy. Over and out. Are you sure about this, Daisy? I mean, can you do this? I think so.
We're about to find out.
Transport Derek to the works once. Yeah, with James's help. Maybe I should go instead. Nonsense. You and Brian have a rail tour to attend to. And you've got passengers on board. Exactly. I'm heading in the same direction as Boko. I can assist him and get my passengers to their destination at the same time. We all know how much Mr. Watson values efficiency. Besides, I need to see if I can do this.
It's because of what Dudley said.
Are you sure about this? Yes, Boko, I am. On my count. 3, 2, 1.
Something tells me this isn't gonna go well. Also, what passengers? There's no passengers inside.
What on earth were you thinking, Daisy? That I could help, sir. You didn't help your passengers. Need I remind you that's what you're built for? No, sir. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I should hope not. I need all of you in top form for when the guest of honor arrives. Is this about the opening of the park, sir? It is. This afternoon I was informed the person who will cut the ribbon will be none other than Her Majesty the Queen.
Wait, what?
Really,
the Queen
sir?
is coming?
Really, James? I understand this won't be the first time she's visited Sodor. No, sir. She came here as part of her coronation tour back in 1953. Gordon and I each had
Why
the
wasn't
honor
there
of
an
pulling the
episode
Royal
of that?
Express. And at Her Majesty's suggestion, we took turns racing between Arsper and Barrow to see who was the fastest.
Who
And
was?
who was? It was I, sir. But Her Majesty said she'd be open to a rematch if she ever came back. And this time, you're going to eat my dust, Gordon, if you say
Okay,
so.
Victor, why didn't we get an episode of this during that period?
Reginald.
I would have liked to have
may
seen
the
it.
best engine win. The Queen will arrive on Thursday and will remain on Sodor for a few days afterwards. She's scheduled to visit several locations around the island and the railway. So needless to say, I expect you all to be on your best behavior. Morning, Daisy. Oh, hello, Samantha.
Here's another thing. I don't think Samantha had a line during the previous season either. Which characters didn't have lines last season? Let me know in the comic section.
How are
I can only
you?
remember like a
Sure,
few
the
not having
Queen's
anything.
coming. Last time she was here, she actually spoke to me. Said this yard was the finest she had ever seen. I don't know if she was just humoring me, but I felt proud all the same. And Reggie is raring to give Gordon a thrashing. That's wonderful, darling. Are you all right, Daisy? Yes, I'm fine. You
Samantha's
don't
wheels
look
are turning.
Is this about what happened with Boko? A bit. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. You're not the first one to break down up there. There's a reason it's called Gordon's Hill after all. And if I had just broken down on my own, I might not be too bothered. But it happened because I tried to push an entire train up the incline. What was I thinking? Don't feel too bad, love. I would have done the same in your place. I'm sure you would have actually helped. You can do more than... Samantha, come in. This is Control. Over. Sorry, Daisy. I have to take this. Copy, Control. This is Samantha. Go ahead. There's been a change to the schedule. The Duchess is due in early. Again? I'm afraid so. You'll have to organize her train immediately. But I have to assemble Emily's first. I'm sorry, this has priority. Assemble both trains as quick as you can. Over and out. Assemble both trains? Do they think I'm a magician? Sounds like you could use an extra pair of buffers. Will mine do? Are you sure? Well, I clearly have no talent for banking. I could try my hand at shunting. You handle the Duchess, and I'll take care of Emily's train. All right, take the trucks in those two sidings and assemble them on track 3. Do you think you can manage that? Absolutely, not a problem.
Will she actually succeed this time?
Perhaps I spoke too soon. Oh, there's the other half of my train. Sorry, Emily. I'll be right there. Daisy, are you playing shunter now? I'm not playing, Emily. I was just trying to... Daisy, this is Control. Confirm your whereabouts. Over. Copy, Control. I'm at Knapford Harbour assisting Samantha. With shunting? Yes, she needed help. And your passengers need you. You're late to collect them for the 8 a.m. commute. Oh, no. So when you said it won't happen again, what exactly did you mean? I'm sorry, sir. I don't want your apologies. I want an explanation. According to your record, you've always done a sublime job as a passenger engine. Why have you suddenly decided to start branching out? I wanted to see how useful I could be. Who said you weren't useful? Dudley. Don't tell me this is about him. Would that I could, darling. Fizzling fireboxes. Why'd you listen to that asshole? I couldn't help it. His words struck a chord. I may have said I was useful at the time, but the more I thought about it, the more I started to wonder if I truly was. Given my recent performance, I'm not. I can't bank a train, I can barely shunt, and I got so exhausted organizing Emily's train that goods work is clearly out of the question. But you weren't built for that kind of work. You said so yourself. Exactly. I was built for a single purpose, to take passengers, and I've been failing at that lately. I guess that means I've become completely useless. Only if you fail to correct your behavior. I'm sorry you're feeling down in the dumps, but for the sake of your passengers and the railway, can you please stick to your primary duty? Yes, sir, I can. It won't happen again. Truly. Good. And if you really are bothered by your lack of versatility, maybe I could talk to Mr. Hall and see if he can do something about it. What do you say? That would be wonderful, sir. Thank you. I shudder to think what the mad lad might cook up. Whatever it is, I hope it works. It must be hard wanting to do more but not being able to. You're right about that, but the important thing is to be content with your limits. You talking from experience? Oh yes, I went through the same phase as Daisy. I tried to be more useful. It ended badly. How badly?
How
Hello, Rosie,
badly?
Brian. Hello, Daisy. I heard you've been having some problems. Yes, I've been making a complete fool of myself. I know the feeling. Did I ever tell you about the time I tried to double as a box van? No.
A box van?
What happened? It wasn't long after that radio broadcast. I was on the mainland by then. I was in a siding chatting to a truck. He was talking about all the things he'd transported over the years. I then realized the only thing I'd ever carried was a guard. It made me feel kind of useless. So the next time I was attached to a goods train, I insisted the lads load me up, which they did. The problem was I was carrying more weight than usual, so when the train started off, my coupling broke. They not only had to find another brake van, but transfer the cargo I was carrying into another truck. By the time the train left, they were nearly an hour behind schedule. Your manager couldn't have been too happy about that. Oh, he wasn't. I explained why I did it. He was still ticked off, but he gave me the best advice I've ever heard. Let your limits become your strength. So I did. I dedicated myself to being the best brakeman I could. And it doesn't bother you that you can't do anything more? Nope. I perform an important job for the railway. Just like you. He's right. All of us can take passengers, but you always get the highest marks for comfort and punctuality. Maybe you are a master of only one trade, but I think that is better than being a master of none. Yes, I suppose it is. Thank you, both of you. You've given me a lot to... Oh, what now?
What is it?
Goodness me, the Royal Express is broken down. What? Is it Thursday already? Where is it? A couple of miles from here. Are they sending a relief engine? They didn't say. I assume so, but there's no sense leaving Her Majesty stranded, not when there's an alternative. What alternative? Wait, you're not thinking about pulling the train, are you? Of course not. That is beyond my limits. I need to focus on my strengths as a passenger engine.
Oh, did she go and pick up the queen?
I cannot thank you enough for coming to my rescue, Daisy. It was my pleasure, ma'am. I hope you enjoyed the trip. I most certainly did. I've never travelled in a rail car before. You provide a most sumptuous ride. I hope to be able to travel with you again. I'd be honoured to have you aboard, ma'am. If your majesty wishes, I could make Daisy available for your exclusive use. Oh, no, that won't be necessary. It would be a sin to deny the people of Sodor Daisy's services. No, we will adhere to the original schedule, which will include a rematch between you two. Oh, thank you, your majesty.
She's gonna let it happen.
And I would be thrilled. And if I may say, ma'am, I intend to win. Well, good luck to the both of you. May the best engine win. Now, if you will excuse me, I will retire for the evening. It's been a very long day. Of course. Good night, your majesty. Good night, everybody. Well done, Daisy. Indeed. Perhaps you ought to have a crack at pulling the Royal Express. Oh no, like I told Rosie and Brian earlier, that is beyond my capabilities. It doesn't have to stay that way. I spoke to Mr. Hall. He said he could probably whip something up to improve your speed and your strength. Thank you, sir, but it won't be necessary. I have accepted my place in the world. Besides, Her Majesty is right. It would be a sin to deny the people of Sodor my services. And the people of Sodor turned out in droves to see Her Majesty, especially at the opening ceremony the next day. To thunderous applause, she cut the ribbon. From that day on, the park has received heavy use. Throughout the rest of her time on Sodor, the Queen visited several locations and took part in the rematch between Gordon and Reginald. This time, it was the latter who took the crown. She also rode aboard Daisy several times. The Queen was so impressed by her performance that she unofficially dubbed the Class 101 as the Royal Rail Car. After that, she was perfectly content with being a passenger engine, which is hardly surprising. With a title like that, how can you not be?
Yeah, true. Alright, so I'm glad to see that I was actually right in the beginning of the episode where I was talking about Brian and Daisy. And actually ended up pretty well, all things considered, between the two. Because Brian is one of the oldest trucks on the island. And Daisy is still, what, only a couple years older? Couple years old by this point. How old is Daisy? But yeah, no, it makes sense why the two would have, talked. And it was interesting to see Daisy try and take on other things, because it was Dudley that got to her from what he had said. Because if I had reacted to that episode when it came out, I would have never guessed what this episode was going to be. But now, watching them back to back, it makes sense what this episode was going to be now. So, I'm quite curious as to what the next episode is going to be. 'Cause I intend to get back on track with the release dates and uploads for Stories of Sodor. So, stay tuned for when the next ones come out. Because there's a couple other things I need to record, but I'm not going to do the rest of them today. So, I just wanted to focus on the Stories of Sodor stuff for the moment. So, if you guys enjoyed my reactions to this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next reaction video. Bye.